Hey YouTube, this is Mako Abyss coming at you with a long overdue Broly deck profile. I'm sure by now everyone's got a lot of, I believe we're up to set 6 by now, and I'm sure everyone knows what this Broly structure deck is capable of. But this is my first place local Broly deck profile. Um, I'm sure also by now everyone's seen the new Broly movie, and I don't care if anyone says they hate the movie. I don't care if anyone says they love the fucking movie. I love the movie, and I love the new design for Broly. And the way they designed the new Broly for the card game, I think is phenomenal. And I had to showcase this deck profile for you guys to see. Like I said, I want my first locals with it. We don't get very many locals around here, but um, I wanted to showcase this deck because, like I said in the past deck profile video, I'm a huge fan of Broly. Old, new, whatever. It's Broly. I'm a fan. So I'm going to get right to the deck profile and quit my jabbering. All right. We'll start with our leader here, Broly. Um, basic leader from the structure deck. Its active main is choose one green Frieza army card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, add it to your hand, and then for the remainder of the game, you can't use this effect again. That is awakened is if you have it's the basic usual. If you have 4 or less life, you get to flip them over, but you draw one card, you tap one energy, and then flip him over. So they kind of gave him the best of both worlds with past leader awakening effects. So I really like that actually. Then we have his flip side, Broly, Evil Unleashed, which don't really understand why they call him Evil Unleashed, because he's not really freaking evil. He's just uncontrollable. Anyway, permanent. If you have 2 or more battle cards in play in your battle area, you can't play battle cards. So normally this would be a problem. But in this deck, it's okay if you only have 2 battle cards in play. Because trust me, when you get this deck up and going, you can do a lot with it. And then auto Sparking 7, which everyone I know what Sparking does at this point. In this case, if you have 7 cards in your drop area, because he's Sparking 7, he gains this ability, which is when he attacks, you draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. So he's constantly refreshing your hand for you whenever you attack. And then his active main, once per turn, you can choose 1 card in your battle area and 1 card in your opponent's battle area and blow them up. Now, normally it wouldn't be a good thing to blow up your stuff, but in this deck, blowing your stuff up is kind of the thing. And you get to reap the rewards and the benefits of doing that. So one of the reasons why I really love this deck profile. Well, leader. All right, the deck runs 4 copies of Broly Ambition, Unreal Ambition. Like I said, the set's been out for a while. I'm sure everyone knows what this guy does by now, but I'm going to give a rundown on him anyway. His first auto is when you play him from your hand, if your leader's Green Frieza army, you take 2 life. And normally that's a problem because you're killing yourself, but at the same time, it's not such a problem because you want to flip your leader over as fast as you fucking can. As fast as you possibly can, because that ability to constantly refresh your hand and blow stuff up on both fields runs so smoothly in this deck, and he sets up for that so well. And then his other auto is if this card is in your battle area and is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd in your leader's Green Frieza army, you can choose 1 or 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand, then choose 1 green Broly with an energy cost of 4 from your hand and play it. Now, this card opens as the floodgate for your entire deck. Once you get his effect up and going, he starts snowballing. He becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and he's such an amazing card for this deck. We then run 4 copies of Berserk Origins Broly. Now, he's your 4-drop Broly that you go into off of course, your Broly Unrealized Ambition. This Broly also is one of the ones that sets up for a lot of Broly plays, depending on which one you go with, either the Broly from the actual set or the one from the structure deck. But either way, you have to run this Broly in order to get that kind of up and rolling. Um, but if you don't know what he does, he has active battle. Choose one card from your hand, place it in the drop area. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it costs 3 or less, KO it. So he starts blowing stuff on your opponent's field. Then his auto is, when this card is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd, and your leader is Green Frieza Army, which is going to be a theme here, you can choose 2 cards in your hand, ditch them to the drop area, and if you do, choose up to 1 green Broly with an energy cost of 6 from your hand and play it. Now, keep this in mind, guys. When I say Broly, I'm not talking about OG Broly with the red sash, white pants, legendary Super Saiyan, ransacking Goku's face into the ground. I'm talking about new Broly. You know, green sash, battle armor, that Broly. Just because I've had someone freaking freak out on me once before and be like, "You get any Broly out with this?" Like, no, it's just the set Broly, the new Broly, Super Broly, or as people like to say, Canon Broly, which I'm still saying it. I don't give 2 craps about the freaking canon. But yeah, 4 copies of Berserk Origins Broly. You then go into 4 copies of Broly Power Unleashed. This guy is one of the cards that took me a little bit to track down, only because I think he was like limited print or something, because I could never pull any of them. I literally had to try and make trades and order these things offline in order to get this deck done. It's one of the things that took me so long because to get this thing out to you guys. He has double strike. His permanent is during battles where this card is attacking, your opponent can't activate counter skills with energy cost of 2 or more. So stuff like Mafuba, Flying Nimbus, I can't think of any other. Gohan's Awakening. Your opponent can't use those types of counters on him, which is really good. Excuse me. What I like about that is he shuts down those bigger combos, so he can just run into your opponent as fast as he can. The only thing I wish is we had some way to stop, the 1-cost counters that doesn't revolve around bad laser ring. But still, he's still an amazing card either way. Active battle once per turn. Choose one card from your hand, place it in the drop area. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, KO it. Then, auto. When this card is removed from a battle area by a skill or KO'd, you may choose 2 of your cards in your hand, place them in the drop area. Choose 1 Broly with an energy cost of 8 or from your hand and play it. Which means, going into our next big card, I run a playset of the big guy himself. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, or as people with the canon now say, Full Power Super Saiyan Broly. I'm still saying legendary. I don't care what anyone says. We run 4 copies of Broly Limits Transcended. This is your heavy beater of the deck. This is like the ace card of the deck you try to get on the field as fast as possible because he just bulldozes down everything. He's another reason why the deck took so long. This profile took so long for me to get out to you guys, because he's a little on the pricey side. But it took me a little bit, and thanks to a good friend of mine, I was able to get the last one I needed to finish the deck profile and see how it ran in the locals and everything. But he has double strike. And then permanent. During battles where this card is attacking, your opponent can't activate counter skills with energy cost of 2 or more. Which means, like I said, Mafuba, Gohan's Awakening, Nimbus, can't be played on him. Alright, then active battle. Once per turn, choose 1 card from your hand, place it in the drop area. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So he just blows up anything. And here's the thing. I know people are probably going to say, well, you got to ditch a lot of cards from your hands for these effects. Where are you getting those cards from? Remember, when your leader attacks, you draw 6 cards. Which means you constantly have a fresh hand to freaking go off of. Alright, next, we run 4 copies of Paragus Rampage Trigger. Now, I've managed to get this. I originally was going to run 3, but when I play tested, I liked how 4 ran because it gets your stuff to you that you need as fast as possible. He's a good 2-drop, 2 cost. He's critically important to the deck. Auto. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to 1 Broly control mechanism from your deck and activate it, then shuffle your deck. So you search your deck for your Broly control mechanism, and you play it for free. You just slap it in play for free. So you don't even have to worry about having to filter through the deck, find it, stuff like that. You'll already have one ready to go when you play him. Then his active main. Choose 1 card from your hand, or choose 1 card in your battle area and place it in your owner's drop area. Choose one. You choose one of his abilities. Now, what I like about that is he actually pops your Broly and gets the ball rolling for you. So if you have him play, you play Paragus, you play the Paragus to pop your Broly. You get to apply one of his effects, and then Broly's effect will go off in tune with that as well, putting your bigger cost Broly in. But Paragus's effect is if you pop. I'm going to say Broly, because obviously you're going to pop Broly. You can choose 1 Broly with an energy cost of 6 or less from your deck, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Or you can choose 1 Broly from your drop area and add it to your hand. So he refreshes the Brolys in your hand if you lose them. Or you could go through your deck and search out a 6 cost Broly or less and pop it into your hand. Which means he sets up your Broly. After you could pop Broly, grab your Broly Berserk Origins, and activate Broly's effect for being popped and put this other Broly in play. It runs, like I said, this deck runs together so smoothly, and I loved how it plays and everything. So 4 copies of Paragus Rampage Trigger. 4 copies of Paragus Deadly Premonition. And I'm pretty sure at this point, I know what people are probably saying. 4 of everything so far, your deck has got to be bricking. You have to brick constantly. No, not really. Because even if you brick a little bit, you have combo fodder for combos. You have fodder in your hand for Broly's effects, stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter if you brick too much in this deck. Now, Paragus... Auto. When you play this card from your hand, look up to 5 cards at the top of your deck, choose 1 Broly among them, add it to your hand to shuffle your deck. So he searches out your Brolys. You can search your top of your card to your deck for your Broly, get ready to freaking pop whatever Broly you have in play to bring out the next big Broly, whichever one you probably searched out with this one. And then Auto. When this card is removed from your battle area by a skill, and your leader is Green Frieza Army, choose 1 of your green energy and switch it to active mode. So he refreshes 1 energy for you. So after you could, excuse me, you could play him, pop him with an effect, refresh the energy that you just paid for him to play something else again, like another Broly, something valuable that you can get on the board so you're ready to go. We next run 4 copies of our super combo piece being Defending Father Paragus. Now this is actually one of the better super combo cards I've actually found, and I really like it. Because his auto is when you combo with this card, if your leader is green and your life is 4 or less, you draw 2 cards, choose 1 card from your hand and put it in your send it to your warp. So you lose a card to warp, which nowadays, it doesn't really matter what you lose. You're going to get it back somehow. But you draw 2 off of him. I can't stress how amazing that is. Because normally you'd only draw 1 off of a super combo piece. He draws you 2. Yes, you're going to lose 1 to warp. But does it really matter? Alright. Now, this is one of the cards I've been criticized about a lot, but I still like running him anyway. 3 copies of Ties That Bind Ba. Now, I've been getting criticism for running Ba, but I like Ba a lot. Only because you can place him in the owner's drop area to choose one Broly with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area and play it. Which means if your opponent, if you lost one of your Brolys for whatever reason, your opponent sends it to warp, your whatever, sends it back to the hand, something. You send Ba to the drop, you get a Broly back. You get your 1 cost Broly back, and you can yes, you have to start from scratch, all that, but still, you can do a lot with that. I mean, you won't be down a Broly then. 1 copy of the beautiful Cheelai. Now, I only run 1 copy of her. I may possibly run 2. I like her a lot. Only because you blow up a lot of stuff in this deck, and her effect is when auto once per turn, when you blow up a card your opponent controls, you make your opponent lose a card in their hand. So she attacks the hand for you. Kind of traditional to the old school Broly deck, which was a lot of hand destruction, which I'm fine with. Yeah, I'm possibly going to step her up to 2 to 3 if I can find them. She's not exactly cheap right now. I run 3 copies of our blocker of the deck. Speedy Entrance Cheelai. Excuse me. Permanent. You can only have 1 Speedy Cheelai in play in your battle area, which is a bit of a problem, but not so much because you're constantly blowing stuff up anyway. So you could just pop her if she's in rest mode for some reason. Use an effect like your Broly leader when he's flipped over. Being you pop one of your cards and one of your opponent's cards while she's in rest mode and hit your opponent with it. The other effect is when you KO one of your opponent's battle cards with a skill, and your leader when your opponent's battle card is KO'd, you can activate this skill, and if your leader is green, you can play it from your hand. So you could have, we'll say your big leader blows up one of your cards and then blows up one of your opponent's cards. You can slap Cheelai and play for free. She's actually been really useful in this deck. All right, 2 copies of Cheelai, Frieza Force Soldier. I like this. I like running this one because this is your Paragus Searcher. All right, so you play her turn 1. You search out your Paragus Rampage trigger. You put it into play. Paragus Rampage trigger triggers, and you get your Broly control mechanism. All right, so that actually works out really well. Plus, when you play Cheelai, you draw a card. Yes, you have to pay the 2 energy to search your deck to play Paragus, but it's as if you searched Paragus out yourself and played it and everything else. So she's actually really good because she gets your Paragus. Paragus gets you your mechanism, and the mechanism gets your Broly powering up. All right. I run 3 copies of Golilamite, the new breed. This card is virtually a super combo piece for Broly. Because your leader is Broly, this thing is a 10k combo piece all the time. Because when you combo with him, if your leader is Broly, he gains an extra 5k combo. So that means he goes through a 10k combo piece, which means you're constantly having like super combos in your hand, just not without the draw engine effect. Now, I run 4 copies of the Broly Control Mechanism. The Broly Control Mechanism is, as I'm sure you can tell by now, one of the most important cards of this deck. You have to run 4. I've seen people run 3. I think it runs decently at 3, but I want to take the chance. You need to run 4. And its effect is simple. Active main. Place 1 card in the owner's drop area. Choose 1 Broly in your battle area. KO it. And place it in the drop area. Then you draw a card. So you use this effect to grab your to pop this Broly to be able to trigger into Rampage Origins, Berserker Origins Broly, and it gets the ball rolling. And then you have Paragus, who searches this thing out and puts it into play for free. Like, this card is the card of the deck that gets everything rolling. Like, I can't stress to you enough how important this card is to the deck. All right. Next, we're down to by 4 copies of Raffle Charge. It's basic counter attack. If your leader is green, negate the attack. Then you may choose one card in your battle area, place it in the drop area. If you do, your opponent chooses one card in their hand, place it in their drop area. So when you negate their attack, you pop your Broly, you bring out Berserker Origins, and then Berserker Origins starts to snowball from there. You have so many effects that pop your Broly in this deck that get your Broly snowballing into that final evolution that it makes it really difficult for your opponent to be able to counteract that because of how fast you can get Big Broly out. I think the earliest I have ever been able to get Big Broly out, being Limited Transcendent Broly out, is I think turn 3 was the earliest I've gotten him so far. I could be wrong. I think I might have done it on turn 2. And then the last 2 cards of the deck, 2 copies of Shocking Death Ball. It's another basic counter attack. If you're negate the attack, if your leader is green, negate the attack. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less. KO. And then its other effect is if you don't have energy to play this, you can activate its counter skill from your hand by taking a life. So he helps get your leader to flip over faster. And that's my first place